Tony's, we're back, and we're better than ever. Got the new intro music, outro music, custom-made intro, outro music, by the way, courtesy of Pistol Pete himself. So I don't know if you guys like it. I fucking love it. Well, right off the bat with the F-bomb. Sorry, Terrence Family Show. I know. Maybe put your kid away early this time. But I love the tune. I love the new sound. Let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. I'll harass you guys later on social media about commenting and give me your feedback on it. But I love it. I think it was completely well done by Pistol with some consultation by my brother, Nicky Sticks. So they did an awesome job working on that. Pistol, thank you again for doing that. I absolutely love it. I want to make it into a full song and do a music video with those guys on it. So stay tuned for that maybe. But anyway, I hope you guys had a good week. It was Super Bowl week last Sunday. You know, the Super Bowl was on. I'm sure most of you definitely were watching the LPDS episode last week or listening to it as opposed to watching that absolutely snooze fest of a Super Bowl. Completely one-sided, sucked from bottom to top, was absolute hot trash. Kansas City couldn't get out of their own way. Couldn't get out of Tampa Bay's way. That's for damn sure. Halftime show was boring. I mean, I like The Weeknd. He's a talent. You know, he's a good, talented artist, but he's not really a halftime show. So I guess he did his best, but whatever. You know, you want to see a halftime show, you got to go back in time a little bit and watch the Creed halftime show with their lead singer, what's his name, Michael Stapp or something like that, flying in on tether like the second coming of Christ that he is, blew the balls off the roof of that stadium when he did that one. So that's a halftime show. Weeknd did he sang well, had a lot of people wearing diapers on their face for some reason or another, which I didn't get because I'm an idiot, so I don't get that stuff, but whatever. It kind of went into the theme of a garbage Super Bowl event. Again, from start to finish, boring, one-sided, embarrassing. The fat streaker dude had more yardage and touchdowns than the Chiefs did. That was a bit of a highlight, I guess. Commercials were absolutely awful. Another snooze fest. At least usually if the game is bad or one-sided, you can go and rely on the commercials to give you some sort of entertainment, but not this year. I think there was like 2 commercials that I even remotely liked. There was that Fidelity commercial with the kid working out and then flexing in the mirror. That kind of reminded me of like me as a kid, or even, even as an adult after watching any Rocky movie. I go and work out for a couple hours and then I go flex in the mirror like I'm a hotshot, like I am Rocky. So that was pretty funny. Good nostalgia, reminded me of the good old days of thinking I was big. By good old days, I mean like yesterday, because I still do that. The other one I really liked, and if you haven't seen it, go check it out on YouTube. They're still putting out new ones now, was the Jimmy John's Tony Bolonovich commercial. That was incredible with Robert Barone, also known as Rob Garrett. Is his first name Rob Garrett? It's not Rob. Something Garrett. I don't know. He's a great actor. Played Robert Barone in Everyone Loves Raymond. Now he's taken to the streets as the cold cut king. What was it? The king of cold cuts? I think that's what it was. As Tony Bolonovich. That was really funny. So good on him for that. Good on Jimmy Johns for doing that. Otherwise, the whole night was a snooze fest. I actually went back and just kept rewatching the LPDS episode that was posted because that was clearly more entertaining and provided a lot more, fun times all around than that slop of a game. But congrats to Tom Brady on his 82nd Super Bowl win with the help of Gronk, who is another entertaining, character in himself. Go back to my post, by the way, and check out Gronk's picture he had of the parade, the Super Bowl parade that they had, their victory. And he's carrying that crate of water. Back to our episode 27 when me and Bone Crusher Maloney talking about the Brotherhood booze rule, the water rule. That's what he did. I mean, Gronk is a smart guy. He doesn't get enough credit for that. He's not an idiot. So good on him for doing that. Maybe Tom Brady should have probably followed that rule because he was looking a little dazed and confused at the end there. But again, good on him. Congratulations. But anyway, let's just, instead of trashing the Super Bowl because I have no athletic ability, I shouldn't be talking bad about professional athletes anyway. We'll just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. I moved my notes over to the computer for the short term here, so I'm going to be reading off of the computer for all my important notes from here on out until further notice. So bear with me here. Today's Into the Cage segment is sponsored by Fredo's Feelings Fabrics. It's tough going out in public these days and hearing people say so many offensive things in your presence, even though they don't even know you exist. Makes you want to just find a safe space from all those hurtful words. Well, now, Fredo's Feelings Fabrics has you covered. Fredo has developed all new patented shirts, jackets, and blazers with built-in safety nets to protect you from those dangerous feelings-attacking words out there. So now, when you feel attacked, all you have to do is unzip the hidden pouch in your shirt, pull out the safety net, and you'll be fully protected within seconds. So to bolster your emotional defenses today, visit www.bleedingheart.com. Use the promo code DUMB for 3% off your first order. Great shirts, hidden pouch for safety. You can wear them to work, when you're working out, when you're out on the town with your other friends, doing hood rat shit. You got your protection now. Go check them out. 3% off. Good deal. That's your first order, not just your first shirt, your entire order. So you can get a blazer. You can get a jogger. You can get a sweatshirt, a hoodie. How you doing? All come with the hidden pouch. All got the safety net. All in one order. 3% off. How you doing? All right. Now the cage fact today, we're doing something a little different today. So it's a combination cage fact jabroni junction. So we're just going to spin the junction logo up. And now, again, we're doing something weird here. So it's not really a cage fact as it is a news update in relation to cage. Okay? So bear with me here. Now, in the news a couple days ago, there was several articles came out that somebody, I forgot the guy's name, the director or writer or whatever, is coming out with a sequel to the movie Face Off, the 1997 smash hit Face Off. Started talking about that recently. Comes out and says it's going to be a direct sequel, not a remake, but a sequel. No information on storyline, like the plot, who the actors are. We don't know if Travolta or Cage are coming back. Nothing. It just is a sequel. It's in the works. They're trying to make a follow-on, not a remake at all, because you can't remake it. Which goes into my point today is, can you even sequelize it? Is that a word? Sequelize? It's a word now. Can you do that? I don't think you can. I think it's a bad idea. Am I 100% sure of that? No, but I'm 90+% sure that's a bad idea. First, a sequel 20 plus years after the fact? It came out in 1997. Let's do the quick math here. No calculator. Was that 24 years now? 23 and a half years later? I mean, at that point, you're clearly just fishing for profit. So that's got to be well known that we're trying to make money. We don't care about creativity or innovation in movies. I mean, Hollywood hasn't cared about that in over 10 years now. So with all the bullshit remakes and sequels and prequels and trying to prey on your nostalgia to get you spending your money like an idiot on these garbage movies. Look at Star Wars. It has 15 prequels and side stories came out in the past 10 years. It's been ridiculous. Trash, hot trash, most of them. But people pretend that they're good because, oh, it's Star Wars. It's nostalgia. So I feel like that's what they're doing. And I don't like that at all. But that's the way of the world now. That's what they're going to do. It's all about profits at the end of the day. So it's a business after all. So whatever. Second point, which is very key here, is that there's no confirmation that Nick Cage is even going to sign on to this. Or Travolta. Mainly Cage, though. How can you make anything related to Face Off without Nick Cage potential like being in it. How can you even consider that? I mean, go back to Face Off. It might have been the most out of control action movie from start to finish that's ever been made. From start to finish. I rewatched it. Because why not? From minute 1 to the very end, absolutely out of control movie. I don't know. I think it's unrivaled in that regard. I have not seen a movie that has you on the edge of your seat, tense, stressed, sweating your balls off the entire 2+ hours of that movie like Face Off did. I don't think there is one. So to potentially make a sequel without the stars of that movie that made it so great, preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. Let's go back to the movie. And I know we talked about this a little bit in previous episodes about the ridiculousness of Face Off and how absurd it is in all the best ways possible that you can be absurd. But let's go back to the movie to kind of discuss why it's going to be so difficult to make a sequel that even compares. Now, the movie itself, the original, the great one, it started off, it began with a finale. The first scene was a finale scene right off the bat. What other movie has and can start off with that bombastic of a finale scene, action-packed, right off the bat and get away with it? Not many. I can't remember one off the top of my head that held true after that first scene and still was an action-packed movie. I mean, think about it. The beginning scene, first seconds of the movie, you got Nick Cage with a sniper rifle, drinking like a Slurpee or something with a mustache. Hello. Top feature film right there, first 30 seconds of the movie. Then he's sniping people, killed the kid on a Ferris wheel, a carousel, whatever those things are called in carnivals, those horse and buggy how you doings, carousels, I think. Is that what they're called? Whatever. Snipe somebody. Then years later, fast forward, in 5 seconds, it already fast forward years later. Now you got Nick Cage dressed as a priest in a public arena, a forum of sorts, placing a bomb in a hidden pillar. Then, as he's dressed as a priest in public, goes up to this choir of 50+ choir singers, kids, teens, whatever they were, singing to hundreds of fans or people out in the audience. He walks up to this one choir chick and starts groping her in public as a priest. Unbelievable. First 5 minutes of the film, this is what's going on. And he's singing too. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Nick Cage, out of control. Grinding on some teenage broad like a maniac. Then, when you think it's going to die down and cool off a little bit, they go immediately into a chase scene. A violent chase scene between the FBI and Nick Cage's entourage, which consists of a private jet and a helicopter chasing after it on the tarmac, on the runway. Aircraft, the private jet crashes into a hangar, and you think it's done there, but no, they have a shootout in the hangar. And then they stop. They're talking, blah, blah. Him and Nick Travolta and Cage are talking and drawing back and forth, and then they fight. And then Nick Cage gets kicked behind a turned-on jet engine and gets blown back to the wall by a jet engine. And that's the first scene of the movie. 17 to 20 minutes of pure chaos, the likes of which you have not seen since the 5-minute chaos scene in The Office when they had the fire drill. That might be the closest intro, cold opening to a television show or movie that had that much chaos jam-packed into a short amount of time. You just can't top that. It was bananas. First scene out of the gate, absolute bananas. If you start a movie with that much of captivating action, you can't possibly think the rest of the movie is going to be entertaining as much as that was, right? It's got to drop off, right? Wrong. If you thought that, take a hike. The movie continues on. Just think about the premise of the rest of the movie. Travolta, an FBI agent, has to find this bomb that Nick Cage left. Priest Nick Cage, Father Cage. He has to go and save the people from this bomb, defuse the bomb, find out where it is. And what's the only way to do that? Logically, is to change faces with the supposedly dead Nick Cage. Trick people into thinking that he is now Castor Troy, that Travolta is Cage. Get placed into that oil rig, private, max security, weirdo prison. Trick Nick Cage's brother into revealing the identity, the location of the bomb, then escaping that prison to go defuse the bomb and save the world. That's the premise of the rest of the movie. How are you going to top that with a sequel? Let's keep going. The face-off surgery itself, because that's the logical plan, right? Now it's got to be secret. So he only tells a handful of his FBI cronies, and then the surgeon knows in secret as well, his team. They do the face-off surgery. Nobody knows about it, not even Travolta's wife. They got to do a voice match too, though, because you can't just have Nick Cage with Danny Zuko's voice. That's a clear giveaway. His brother's going to know right off the bat in prison that can't happen. You can't be doing that. So he's got to do a voice match. They put a little chip in his neck, a little Bill Gates GPS chip in his neck so that his voice changes, and they have to test it. And what do they use? What quote do they make Travolta say to test his voice, his new voice? They use what might be a top 5 movie quote of all time. Not just a Cage movie, of all time. I could eat a peach for hours. That's the quote they use to voice match him. I could eat a peach for hours. An absolutely absurd quote. You think it can't get any crazier, and then they pick the most ridiculous Cage quote in the movie or any movie of all time to use to match voices. Could have used anything. That's what they chose to pick. That's what they picked. Chose to pick. That's pick to pick. Stupid Libretti. Get it together. I'm losing. I'm off the clamped. I'm hot and bothered already. We're not even halfway into this description, and I'm losing it. This movie's so wild. So he changes faces, changes voices. I can eat a peach for hours. By the way, a quote that should be used as often as you humanly possibly can do that. In any situation that you can sneak in that quote in real life, you owe it to yourself and to the people around you to sneak that quote in. Legendary quote. I could eat a peach for hours. Legendary. Anyway, the wildness continues on. The chaos ensues. Now dead Nick Cage, dead faceless Nick Cage, comes back to life in the hospital. Now, they had a whole storyline of him like, oh, we're keeping him alive, blah, blah, blah. He's lifeless Nick Cage, wakes up faceless, face off, gone. Finds out the surgeon, his phone number, where he's located, gets his entourage to bring the surgical team into the hospital to put Travolta's face on Cage, also with the voice chip in his neck, in his throat, so that he can be Travolta now. Then he kills the surgeon, the medical team, and all the FBI cronies, all 4 or 5 of them that knew about the face-off switch. So now, in the storyline, nobody knows that Cage and Travolta switch faces and voices. Nobody knows it whatsoever. Only those two know it. So Travolta can't even go back to Travolta's face because nobody knows that he is not Cage. Everyone just thinks he's Cage. The chaos continues. Now, fake Travolta, real Cage, goes out on a absolute chaos spree. I can't even think of a better word than chaos. That's all this movie was. He goes out, he teaches Travolta's daughter how to use a butterfly knife. How you doing? Then he goes and he borks his wife. I mean, they don't really show it, but you know he's borking Travolta's wife. That's like a serious alpha move in the movie that he does. Then he goes and he kills Travolta's FBI boss. And everyone is just convinced it's a heart attack. Goes back and borks his wife again, I think. I don't know. Kills his husband, kills the boss. Excuse me, I'm losing it here. He kills the boss, borks the wife, teaches the daughter how to attack, all in a span of like 40 minutes in the movie. Just wild stuff on an absolute chaotic spree. Then we get to the actual finale of the movie, the actual last action scene, as if the whole movie wasn't a 2-hour-long finale in itself. You have the final scene, the final action-packed finale scene, consisting of over 20 minutes of a shootout in a church. You got doves flying everywhere, getting shot up everywhere by Travolta and Cage, fake Travolta and fake Cage. Shooting up the place in the church, going nuts. Then it goes outside. The fight takes it outside. Then fake Travolta gets real Travolta's daughter in a death grip, and he's threatening her with the gun, and she stabs him with the butterfly. She uses her skills that he taught her to stab him in the thigh, cranking down, turning and twisting to keep the wound open to sort of save the day, you think. It keeps going. Now, the action finale scene spills over to a speedboat chase scene. Now, real Travolta, fake Cage is fighting fake Travolta, real Cage on the boat. They're going back and forth. The thing is speeding at hundreds of miles an hour. Who even knows how fast it's going? It crashes on land. They go flying out like a bunch of maniacs, like rag dolls. And it finally ends in a spear gun shootout. A spear gun ends it. And you think then, oh, the movie's finally over. It's calmed down. We could take a breath and it's all good to go. If you thought that, you were wrong. Travolta gets his face back. Okay? And it all looks calm, and they even played it off calm the whole time. That's why it's a backdoor chaotic finale portion of this scene. He goes back to his house, greets his family, and in one of the most alpha moves that you could possibly do to a dead enemy of yours, Travolta steals dead Nick Cage's kid and adopts him. He said, "You killed my kid, Castor Troy? I'm stealing your kid. He's now my kid. You want to terrorize my family and try to kill me and bork my wife? I'm stealing your kid. And I'm going to do the face waterfall hand thing on him like an absolute creep." We didn't even mention that throughout the whole movie, that fucking psycho Travolta family loves hand face waterfalling people throughout the entire movie, just random strangers, just face palming them like a bunch of psychopaths. That was the most normal part of the movie. The hand face off. Completely wild movie from start to finish. No doubt about it. One of the most chaotic, absurd movies of all time. That was actually a masterpiece. That was universally loved by all. That's what universally means. All, everybody loved it. Now you're trying to tell me that you're going to make a sequel that compares to that masterpiece? The likelihood of any movie holding a candle to an action-packed film like that is almost zero. No movie has come close in the past 20 plus years of any kind, Cage or non-Cage movie. So you're going to try to make a sequel that even tries to do that? I mean, the writers really have their work cut out for them. I hope they do it. I don't think there's anybody in the free world that doesn't hope that it comes close to that level of that magnitude of perfection. Do I think it's going to happen? No. No other movie has ever come close to it. So the fact that you're trying to make a sequel to that movie and try to make it better is absurd in itself. Maybe that's the only hope that they have because their brains are already out of whack thinking they can do this, that they might actually be able to do it. The only way that they have a chance, though, is if they get Nick Cage and even Travolta to sign on. You have no Cage in Face Off, you have no Face Off. I'm sorry. You can't do it. So the fact that they haven't even locked down Nick Cage for this movie does not bode well for the success of this film. It won't even come close. It's not even going to be watchable. But if they are able to lock down Cage and lock down Danny Zuko himself, Travolta, that might be the only chance they have to even hold a candle to the original Face Off. I still don't know what the storyline would be because Cage has supposedly died. Who knows what I mean, obviously, based on the logic of the original, there's more than enough ways to bring him back to life, I'm sure. But 20 plus years later, they're going to come up with a storyline that says we've been keeping him alive so he can see his kid. I can't. My puny Guido greaseball brain cannot fathom a story plot that can even come close to comparing to the original Face Off and hold water to it. I just can't do it. But if Cage is in it, I'm watching it. So all the best of luck to the writers, directors, producers, everybody involved in the film. Casting has got the casting director or whoever's in charge of casting really has the biggest weight on their shoulders to make this a success. Because if you don't get the two heavy hitters, if you don't get Cage and Travolta, you're done. You might as well just pack it in now. If you got them in there, I'm watching it, no doubt about it. Even if it's the worst rendition of it, the worst sequel ever, it can't be any worse than some of the other Cage movies that he's made, like Jiu-Jitsu or others. And this is coming from the Cage guy. I am the Cage. I am obsessed with this guy. I am as biased and closed-minded on my feelings towards Nick Cage as anybody can be about anything. And even I'm saying he's got bad movies, like Jiu-Jitsu. But I'll still watch Face Off 2 if Nick Cage is in it. If Castor Troy reprises his role somehow, some way, the only person that could do it is Nick Cage, and I'm on board for that. So good luck to the writers and directors. I'm wishing you all the best. I have nothing but hope. I'm skeptical. I have a little skepticism, a little stitiousness, a lot of hope. And that's all I got today. Pretty quick one, I think. I'm panting. I'm out of shape. I'm panting. I'm so revved up about Face Off, just the idea of another Face Off with Cage and Travolta. I'm losing my shit here. I need an espresso. I need something to cool myself off, get a cannoli, take a nap. I need something here because I'm just the idea of another Face Off with Cage and Travolta. It could be out of this world. I can't get too excited though. So we gotta stop it there. Can't get too excited, folks. Be hopeful, be slightly stitious, but be hopeful that they can do this. Because they did it once with Face Off. There is a chance, folks. There is a chance they could do it again, so I'm very hopeful. Now, before we leave, a quick reminder. I forgot to do it last week because I'm an asshole, so I apologize. But the big three on being a better, happier, stress-free person. I always got to try to remind everybody so that we can get it in our brains, get it infused in our puny, stupid, sheep, American idiot brains. Exercise every day. Do something. Go for a walk. Do some jumping jacks. I just did jumping jacks while I was watching The Office. If there was a camera on me, I looked like an absolute idiot. I don't care because it was better than me sitting on the couch like a fat shit all day, which I have done before, and I don't like the feeling. So exercise every day. Even if it's just a walk or some jumping jacks or anything, you'll feel better about yourself. Don't be a shitty person. That's the short way of saying it. Don't be a shitty person. Think before you speak or act or type anything or post anything about other people. Think about others as human beings with lives and families and feelings before you decide to take jabs or say anything shitty. That's serious anyway. I'm not opposed to. I always go back to this. I'm not opposed to joking. If you're shit talking your friends, making a little joke, for the purposes of comedy, and that's what your friend, you and your friends and family do. That's one thing. But if you're trying to be a shitty person or take jabs or shoot daggers at people, whether it's in person or mostly online, because that's the easiest, a text message tough guy route. Think about the human being on the other side that you are trying to or attempting to attack or say negative things about. Think about that before you post, and you'll probably end up not posting that, and you'll feel better about yourself because you're not on social media being an asshole and feeling like shit for whatever reason. And the third thing, be grateful and thankful for all the good in your life. Whether it's materials that you got, a promotion, the fact that you have a job, that you got a roof over your head, you got running water, you got toilet, anything good in your life, family, friends, anything, people that care about you, be grateful and thankful for that. Sincerely grateful and thankful. Be cognizant of it. Step back and realize all the good things you have in your life, whether you have kids or a spouse, or a pet that's loyal to you, or anything good. It's so easy to get caught up in all the shit and all the negative and all the bad that's going on in the world, in your life, what the media pushes out, because they love doing that. That's how they get their ratings and their divisiveness and the chaos that they want to profit off of. It's so easy to get lost in the sauce in that regard. So you got to step back. Think about the good in your life and be genuinely grateful for it. I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for listening today. I love you all. Hopefully you like the new intro music, outro music, because it's sticking around for a while. Thank you again for all your support, even your any feedback you provide, anything you do. I love it. It keeps me going. It's one of the biggest things that I'm grateful for and thankful for each and every day is actually being able to go on social media or the internet or my text and seeing people being supportive of this shit show of a podcast. So I love it. I love you guys. Stay strong.